months in a year? 12. But 12 the 12 months are composed of 2-week time spans called fortnights. And originally, 2 weeks was the real unit of time, not a month. Because it takes 2 weeks for the moon to go from new to full and full to new. If you spend 4 weeks at any process or anything you're doing, it's not right. It should be done as the moon is going from new to full or full to new. It's two different energies, new to full and full to new. You can't consider it one thing. It's totally wrong to think that 4 weeks is a span of time to get something done. 2 weeks is enough. In that 2-week time span, that's when you're actually supposed to create something or communicate with people based on the rune that's associated. So today, this event is on the 18th, which is Manas, the rune Manas, where we get the word man from. Manas was originally a German god, who was actually a man who lived among people, who was like a tribal leader, but he was actually a god. He was actually kind of immortal. See, in the ancient world, there were people who were like kind of strangely immortal. Like even George Washington. Remember that time they all tried to shoot him? What happened? Marched out of the smoke unscathed. It's kind of a god. Really, there are people who have that good karma. You know? It's all based on what's your relationship with the world you live in. How tight a ship do you run? Right now, like for example, the 24 hours in a day, 24 runes. 24 longitude and latitude points on the world. Right? Did you know that? There are 24 longitude and latitude coordinates. And there are 24 degrees around you. Right here, where you stand, divide everything up into 15 degrees and you get 24. You ever hear the expression, an ill wind is blowing? Mm-hmm. That means it's coming from one of the bad rune directions. And when I say bad, I mean winter rune, challenging rune. Like the north is where a lot of spiritual stuff comes to us from, but it's a lot of the spiritual lessons come from pain and suffering. Psychic abilities, spiritual talents come from suffering in past lives and earning it. If you want material reward, face the south, the direction of the warmth and the earth. The north is where spirituality comes from. And that's also where all the runes come from. Everything spiritual comes from the north. So we have midnight, right? Darkest time of the day, right? Midnight. Did you know that the rune associated with midnight is the same rune associated with directly north? That's called Yura. Yura is the name of the rune. It's the darkest rune. And then from Yura we have Iwaz, then Herthro, Elhaz, Zowilo, Tiwaz, Virkana, and then it starts the next goddess rune, god and goddess rune, the higher level. But we got to go through that winter. So midnight is the clock is a microcosm of the year. You see that? 24 hours, 24 fortnights. Microcosm, macrocosm. How many days in a year? 365 and a quarter, I think, if you want to be like that.
And that's why every 4 years you have
the leap year. Now, check this out. How many hours in a 2-week time span? Nobody would ever ask you this. It's 365 and 1/4. It's a microcosm of a macrocosm. And that's why 2 weeks is better than 4 as a defining period of time. In the 2 weeks, you have a microcosm of the whole year. 365 and a fourth hours. And a rune for each of them. So right now, these are the important things that I'm explaining to you. Why the runes are important. See, everybody talks about different spiritual lineages. Like we can talk about Egyptian spiritual lineage. This one applies to your reality the most. And if you're not living the best life possible, if you're not happy, then you got to get control and understand this reality more. Don't get into the Egyptian mystery schools. That's like icing on the cake. The Egyptian mystery schools come from a different reality outside of Earth. That's the afterlife. But Earth life, you need to understand it. You need to master it. It's that simple. And so the Norse gods and goddesses define your days of the week. Define the good and bad luck days of the year.
The Norse gods and goddesses define the day of the week.
And the runes define the days of the year and the months of the year. So right now we're at Manas. Now if this event was held 5 days earlier, it would be Awaz, different energy entirely. The last event we had, we have these flyers here. This is a worksheet from last time, and I want you guys to take a look at what we did in Psychic Self-Defense 1. signing, I have some herbal mixture that I prepared specifically for this event. Now, these herbs are very powerful in purifying you, removing any negative feelings or negative spirits. Now, if you're a scientific thinker, you could say, oh, it's not a spirit, it's just a habit, right? It's a habitual way of thinking. That's not necessarily more true than saying that it's spiritual. You know, that it's evil spirits. Neither is more true than the other. But the spiritual people have an advantage over non-spiritual people in that we realize that the world, the perspective is up to you to create the rules of what your reality is. Science will say it's one way or the other. It can't be up to you. But spiritual and metaphysical thinking will say that whether your life is completely scientific or completely spiritual is up to you. That you choose it. It's all, none of it's real anyway, really. In life, nothing is really real. It's up to you. And many past lives of creating.
What do you have in there?
This is over 20 herbs from my studies. I can't run off the list, but it's my standard mixture. It's very powerful, you'll see it. It's also in the essential oils I have with me too. We call it Aura Shield. Hi.
You want to be careful with that scar. Fire.
Oh, I'm very aware of, I'm good with fire, you know. As a jeweler, I know how, and especially someone who has a lot of hairspray in their hair at all times. This, by the way, I didn't do. This is just happened. I'm serious. I tried to suppress it. I tried to.
We like it.
I don't want it to be distracting, though, that's the thing, you know.
It fits you. We like
So I'm a Leo, right? What can I say? So, now, think about, well, you're all smiling, that's great. But think about anything that's troubled you in the past week. And one of the things I do with my workshops is I ask you to document the days of the week. What was the good day this week? For all of you. What was an unusually good day? Now, I say this because variables in your life are what determine whether a day is good or bad. But there is no such thing as variables. You have control over everything in your life. And because you have control over everything in your life, you have responsibility to have a good life and to help people. Do you think you have control over everything in your life?
Absolutely.
Everything, right? 100%. Yes. It's like if you're in the dark, in a cave. There is space around you. You just can't see it. But it exists. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's there. So that's the same way that this works. So, how much percentage in your life do you feel you have control? 100%. Right? But how much of it are you using effectively? And that's why we're teaching psychic self-defense. Because if you're at the mercy of your life, that means you need to get a little bit more control over it. Now some would say, it's not about control, it's about letting go and letting life happen. Let go and let God. That is true. However, you can't do that all the time. You can't.
Like
Life
50,
is,
like 50%.
it depends on how much good, I'm going to use the word karma, but good acts that you have stored up. If you've got a lot of good acts stored up and you challenge yourself and you make progress and you create new things and you add to the world, even if it's a 9-to-5 job, you're still living a spiritual life. Our system actually is actually a spiritual reality. Even people working 9 to 5, they're helping others. They're helping people put, money, into their family and send their kids to school, and that's how it works. Even if it's a 9 to 5 job that they don't enjoy, it's still fulfilling some kind of earth schooling. Remember, you create everything in your life. So if it was meaningless, you wouldn't have created that. You're curious about something, you're inspired, right? You're inspired to ask. What does inspired mean? The literal definition of inspired means to be filled with God. Some people are inspired to good, some people are inspired to evil. You're inspired by your spirit. Your body is possessed by your soul.
I know that.
Everybody's body is possessed by the soul. If it wasn't, you'd be asleep. When you're asleep, your soul is not in your body.
And a lot of people that are possessed by their own spirit and soul are asleep.
Asleep
Asleep
spiritually, yeah. That's ideological problem, you know. But this is mechanical. Like, what is it to be possessed? So in certain workshops of mine, I talk about power animals, spirit guides. Next workshop, we're going to talk about spirit guides. And what does it mean when you change? You become more when you go on a vision quest. It means your spirit changed. How can that be? Your spirit actually got more added onto it. Other spirit animals, other guides. The composite becomes more. So this is all intellectual stuff. The most important stuff is the purification, which we all need because of what happened on Wednesday, right? Wasn't that weird? Was that that's what it's called?
What happened?
Well, Tuesday night, Tears Day night, right? The snow, the sleet, right? Some people thought I caused it because I like the winter and the
Did you?
snow. No,
I'm kidding.
no,
No, but you put it out there that,
no, not this
that
time.
Father Winter was not done.
Right, but that was not for this because I'm all about winter when it's supposed to be.
Winter.
But that day was the 17th of April, and it's important to mention is that in the Norse perspective, every day of the year has its own energy, and it's the same every year. It's not. Well, the runes are based on numerology, yeah. There is a numerology to it, but for example, some people who study astrology, they say, well, why is Christmas always on the same day of the year when the planets are doing different things? Because Christmas is a solar phenomenon. It has nothing to do with all these stupid planets. The sun is more important for you than any planet. Some planets didn't like that. You see, planets have personalities. There's a lot of spirits living on every planet. And those spirits are reaching out to us. The sun's rays, those are spirits reaching out to you. That's how they influence you, with warmth and light. So there's all these spirits that live on every planet. Jupiter just came out of retrograde. Who likes Jupiter here?
I love Jupiter.
You like it? Anyone else?
Expansion, abundance.
Creativity, spirituality, and the brand name for my pants, Jupiter.
I love your pants. Was that why Wednesday might have been an off day?
Wednesday, the 17th of April, every year, in the European tradition of recording the events of the year, is a bad day.
Wednesday was a very bad day.
Yeah.
It's the 16th.
It's the 16th.
Yesterday was the 17th, today's the 18th.
Today's the 18th, the 17th was Thursday, the Wednesday was the 16th. Right. But it starts on Tears Day night. And I keep saying Tears Day because the original, where we get Tuesday from is Tears Day, the god Tyr. So that day started at sunset on Tuesday. You see, in the Norse tradition, the next day starts at sunset of the day before,
Right.
just like in the Jewish tradition.
Right.
That's the magical way of looking at life. It's not like the day started when the sun came up, but it does sound strange at first when I tell you this. Imagine the sun's setting. It's scary to start your day. You think, what are you talking about? Is this like vampire living or something? You know? Imagine starting your day when the sun sets. It doesn't make sense at first because it's not agricultural. It's not based on commerce, really. But it will start to make sense to you. You need to start being aware of it because then all these variables in your life that you feel you don't have control over, you will start to take control over them. So the snow and the ice and sleet started on Tears Day night. The reason why it was bad this time, and I always say I want winter, I'd be happy with it, but Monday, that beautiful day, right? What was that, the 14th? That's the original Ostara, where we get Easter from. For example, if you're from India, you don't speak English, that means you don't create a reality where you speak English. If you speak English, you speak the runes. If you live in a country that has 7 days of the week named after Norse gods and goddesses, you created that. It didn't just happen. The runes are in you if you're here today. If you're in India, then you can follow that. You can follow the Vedas and all that. Which, by the way, Thor was in India too. He was Indra. He even had the hammer and everything.
Really?
Odin was in Japan and China. His name was Wotan, and he had the same abilities of lightning.
Well, see, I see Thor and Thoth.
Thoth? Oh, right, Thoth.
You know, kind of like, it all goes together.
Thor is actually in many ways like Jesus. Was the hammer Christ's symbol? What was it? Wasn't the hammer one of Christ's symbols? Right? If you get into it more, didn't they say he was a carpenter? Carpenter? His symbol was a hammer. The thorns. Where do we get the word thorn from? Think about it. Thorn. Guess. Here. Thor. Thorn. Look,
Let's say that.
remember that symbol there I gave you there? Kind of looks like a thorn, right?
How do you know?
How would they
Crown of
do
thorns.
How would they take
With that
Thor's
thorn.
name and make it a thorn? Why would, what was the Thor? was-
Thor, symbolically protecting innocent and good people who are the rose. The thorn protecting the rose. And the crown of thorns is Christ's crown. And self-sacrifice.
And that's why you stand with your hand in your head.
Right,
Ah,
left
the
hand.
left hand.
Left hand, yeah. Right hand, different rune. If you go like this, Sowilo, you see the S? Taking the energy from Asgard, channeling it to the heart, to the center of Earth, and down here back. Reincarnation does exist, and it is universal, it will happen to everyone. But being reborn on Earth is not necessarily necessary.
I agree with that.
In fact, you can be born on Earth in a different form. You can be a spirit. You can be born on Earth as you can be a guardian angel to someone. You know,
Well, because
you can be a
it's
guardian
your soul.
angel right now. It's your soul, and it's a job that you receive from the gods and
The
goddesses.
lesson that the soul needs to.
It's also karma. It's also the more people you heal. Now, for example, if I pray for each of you remotely, long distance, I can heal all of you to a certain degree. I'm not a master person, but I can, and I record and I test things out and I see how it works. Now, if I can do that, it's not my body like walking up to you and doing the healing, right? It's my spirit. It's changing the reality for you through work with the gods and goddesses. So if I can do that, I can do that without a body at all. I can be a spirit form completely. So the work starts now. You know, there are people who speak negatively and yell at people, but they heal them somehow. It's crazy. Everyone has different.
It's the way the person.
Some people are so
reacts to it.
nice, and then they hurt people energetically because they're so annoying, and spiteful, and selfish. They can be the saint. I want to challenge you all. Flip off someone, but heal them when you do it. Now you're talking. Because
You must send them haywire. Can you just take that for
make their spirit love you, but their body and their mind will be like, but their spirit hovering above them will be like, yeah, don't worry, he's good. I'm just trying to break up the earth reality. That's why I do that. And so on Facebook, I say things that some say, oh, that was out of alignment, that was crazy. But I promise you, it enlighten people, because I only speak when I'm in the right energy. If I'm not feeling right, I know it, I'm not going to say anything. Because you can say the nicest thing, and it doesn't affect people right. Alignment is the key. So, psychic self-defense, important, because we're not always 100% in alignment. We don't want to let negative experiences set us on a snowball effect. We want to stop that and get back on track. Now, psychic attack. Anybody has an idea what psychic attack is? Because, the reason I ask, there's many different kinds of psychic attack, and I want to get into this. It's important. All psychic attack can feel the same. Oh, I got a pain on the side of my head. It's a psychic attack, but it could come from different things. So what's your idea? What's psychic attack? Anyone?
Like a lot of negativity and stuff around you. I remember that.
So would that be from a work environment? Would it be from one person? Several people?
There's energies that can come from anywhere.
But I want to be specific, like each case, because you're right, and each person will be right.
So can it be from one person?
Can
it
be
be
one.
from a group of people? Can it be from?
Yeah, it can be from one person. Now, it's spirits hijacking that person, using them to negatively influence you, and you are sanctioning it or allowing it.
How are you not allowed though?
How would you not allow it? Two ways, and this is psychic self-defense. One way to not allow it is to rewind it and step into the reality where it didn't happen. Because the only reason it happened is because you stepped on a parallel future track. It's very close to the other future where it didn't happen, but you stepped in that because of your thinking and because of your past actions. Now, you can do a lot of bad things, but if you stay in the right if you resonate in the right future, you won't experience the pitfalls of those bad things. I don't encourage that. It's much better to do good things and stay on the track on the good future. But if you do slip up, It's not just your lifetime, it's not just this life, it's past life. It's also the karma that you're doing, you're fulfilling karma to help spirits that are suffering. There are spirits in hell, and you're taking on their suffering, and you're freeing them up. Like, if you ever work on a project, this is very esoteric, and I will get into this, because I've documented this for 10 years, that this is true. But specifically, psychic self-defense, right? Okay. You're at work, or...
How about someone that drains your energy?
Oh, good.
Higher energy.
Yes, you're around them and you're like yawning forever. They're like, you can feel it physically draining you.
Yeah, but that's because you are nurturing them.
Oh, that's annoying.
You gotta just
Really?
end that.
I got
Ow.
divorced from a bunch of my friends. I swear, that's the truth. And I lost like 20 pounds off my neck. I swear.
Well, you know, if it's someone that
Really?
you really can't get rid of, now I'm
I
gonna...
work with someone that drains me.
Oh, dear.
Seriously.
So let's see, because sometimes the reason I say when I'm burning these herbs, I want you to think about that person, right?
How would I do that after?
Now, obviously, these people know that you're thinking about them.
Do they?
Oh, yes, yes. There's many ways to get rid of evil spirits. One way is to heal them.
But I don't think she's not evil now. But it's just that she's...
If you're helping her and she's using you, she's hurting herself and you. Dependency is not a good thing. Nobody benefits from it. So, you know, even when you give to charity, I do, but it hurts them too. It's dangerous. You have to make sure you do it the right way. So, you're doing the right thing, but in the long run, you're going to benefit from her using you, but it's still not good. Independence. So there's other ways, like for example, you can, like let's say, it's good to heal a spirit, right? I should have my runes with me because I always ask them. Actually, I also have my feather and some chocolate. Never find yourself getting sleepy, eat some
Sometimes
chocolate,
you need
right?
chocolate.
That's to get your spirit back in your body. You never get
That's why we
sleepy.
eat chocolate all the time. We do.
Dark chocolate is the best.
That's what we do.
Next event, I'm going to bring the best dark chocolate distributed. Actually, I'm making a chocolate myself. It's my
Of
own
course you
brand.
are.
It's going to be all these things that I study, and it's going to be like, wow, you're going to eat it, you're going to do magic.
So happy.
Can you explain a little bit that more when you're getting tired?
Well, when you're getting
And
tired,
your
your
spirit
spirit
is-
is leaving your body.
Why?
Because one possibility is that, not one possibility, most of the time is that you're not doing what you should be doing. So your spirit doesn't want to be in your body anymore, it's abandoning it.
What's that mean?
It's like death. It's like a mini death, like sleeping is like death, right? If you're fulfilling your destiny, you don't need to sleep at all. You don't need to eat at all. All these lame things like sleeping and eating, that's because you're not 100%. If you're 100%, you're a god or a goddess, right? Does anybody who wants to be 100%? You want to be 100%? I know, but in reality,
But
it's
can you-
scary to be
Can your
100%.
physical body sustain you without food?
People may not see you though. You may be invisible to them because you might be too super,
Really?
right? Because if they're not resonating. In our world today, we don't have a belief system that incorporates people that live forever and don't eat and don't sleep and fly. We can't see them because we don't believe in it. Someone taught us not to believe in them.
I believe in it.
You believe in it.
I do.
You believe in the 70%? That's a big deal. Most people can't believe in that 5%. They could say it. But to believe in it on a deep level means you have to go against all the teaching of your life. Not just this life. The past one. The one
I go against all
before.
the teaching.
You gotta be basically insane
Yes, that would be me.
to see a dragon appear and
Okay.
fly to the building,
I
right?
haven't seen the
Right
dragon.
now.
How close?
Well, in my workshops we have, we do the dragon. We see dragon-shaped clouds. I work with extraterrestrials in some of my workshops. And the extraterrestrials, a cloud shaped like a dragon will come out when I'm doing these certain chants and stances, and then UFOs will come out of the cloud. Now that's kind of strange, right? like a cloud,
Yeah.
a cloud shaped like a dragon, and then UFOs come out? Why not just a real dragon appear? And forget the UFOs. I mean, why not just a dragon? You know, this is our modern way of creating a metaphysical experience. UFOs. That's our modern language. So in ancient times, it was elves. Today, people don't believe in elves, so they don't see them. See aliens instead. It's the same energetic frequency, though. But there's good aliens and bad aliens. There's good elves and bad elves, depending on where on the Yggdrasil tree they are, the tree of life. Right. Well, it's all resonating, and awareness. And how far away from Earth are you? Because the closer you resonate with Earth, the more stupid you're going to be. Remember, the sky in the universe knows everything that the Earth knows. The Earth only knows itself and the world below it. So fly above it. Don't worry about grounding yourself. You'll be grounded, just be good. The universe reality is the only reality.
So what happens when you're dealing with people that are not good though? And like you said, like we were back, I just have to go backwards for a moment. Dealing with the people that really give you really bad, like put bad on you.
Yeah, well,
and
they're possessed by evil spirits. And they're acting out on it. You ever hear the expression selling your soul?
Mm-hmm.
It means to sell your actions, sell your choices to evil spirits, because they'll offer you what? And ceaseless ambition. Ceaseless, endless, restless material ambition. That's not normal. That's not your human soul. The human soul doesn't possess the desire to work 9 to 5, to manipulate people, to control, to earn, to overpower, to just be crazy, to be pathetic.
So what do you do with these people?
What do you do with them? You pray. There's 2 ways. You can heal them. See, I can see spirits moving around all the time now. I see them moving around the room. You'll see them in the corner of your eye. There's little beams moving.
Right.
So you pray for them. That can work for you.
Orbs. Are they orbs? I could call them
I
orbs.
see them like lasers.
Right.
But the orbs are too, yeah. You can scare them too. And that's psychic self-defense. I do get into that. Scaring them. It's fun. As long as you do good things and smile at people, make people laugh, God will forgive you.
Okay.
It's nice to be crazy.
So would
in
they
other words.
really have a purpose in trying to get you per se though? Like when they're thinking that, I mean, like they're coming after you. Like, and usually you just, they're crazy, so you kind of just like.
Are you talking about people that are intelligent and evil, or people who are completely insane? Intelligent and evil.
Well, what is
Can we
insane?
clarify one thing? Because I think that you're probably off the rocker right now. Clarify what you mean by an evil spirit. Like,
Evil
clarify
spirit.
evil.
Right. Well,
Ego.
evil spirit is a spirit. We all have spirits. The evil spirit is a spirit that has no body. It's just a spirit, but it has unresolved.
I'm not talking about that.
Earthly
I'm talking about
needs.
I'm trying to clarify for her.
Yeah, an evil spirit is not an agent for Satan. An evil spirit is a spirit, doesn't have a body, but it has needs that are unfulfilled, and those are materialistic or earthly needs, and it sacrifices its spiritual mission to achieve those. Do you feel any pain on your body right now? I don't want to influence you. You don't feel, because the pain will be a sign of her presence.
Really?
You don't? Okay, so any pain you feel is the presence of spirits. It really is. Any pleasure you feel is the presence of spirits. Anything, any sensation, whether good or bad, is caused by spirits. That's the reality. So, with your story, right? This girl, I saw a little spark right there. I would go like this. Like, yeah.
Show me she's wrong, sorry.
Yeah. But that's when you feel her presence. It depends on what side of your body.
Just stand up and just.
That's why people go like this and
All
stuff.
over the salon.
Oh, yeah, but then
I'll be standing up. I do nails and makeup. Excuse me, I was filing.
it works. If you practice
You
it.
do it in your mind's eye and not physically.
Well, I practice Kung Fu, Shaolin Kung Fu, and so I wasn't always doing that. That became, because in my training, we get rid of evil spirits by going through all the poses and stretching and
So
everything that we
psychic
do.
would do?
I used to do
But it doesn't
this.
have to be
I used to do
physical.
this thing.
Can you imagine that you're doing
Right,
it?
well, I'll show you a Norse yogic pose that you can do that works great, and it doesn't look strange.
Yeah.
That's because I've invested time in martial arts, so if you have, then you can do it too. I feel that you could use this at work. I mean, anyone can stand like this, no one will think anything, right?
Oh, I could use that too, right?
You can
Absolutely,
yeah.
you just stand there like
Yeah,
that,
right.
we'll just be like,
And have your back up straight.
Oh, okay. I can do that.
Er is genoeg voor iedereen. Dus drinken we samen, sla het vat maar aan, ja drinken we samen, niet alleen. Wat zullen we drinken, 7 dagen nacht, wat zullen we drinken voor de dorst? Wat zullen we drinken, 7 dagen nacht, wat zullen we drinken voor de dorst? Er is genoeg voor iedereen. Dus drinken we samen, sla het vat maar aan, ja drinken we samen, niet alleen.
Hemmerai Nordkri, Helgeve data og halvor. Hemmerai Austri, Helgeve data og halvor. Hemmerai Sudri, Helgeve data og halvor. Hemmerai Vestri, Helgeve data og halvor. Hemmerai Jiffermer, Helgeve data og halvor. Hemmerai Undermer, Helgeve data og halvor. 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 Mish og Ymir. Asgarder og Midgarder. Mish og Ymir. Asgarder og Midgarder. In the world, the sounds we hear outside are always an indication of what's going on. The sound of a police siren is always a good sign, the presence of order. And from now on, that's what it'll mean to you. Police are actually supposed to be knights, upholding the original structure of the reality that we created. Each of you. We all created that. If you decide to hate police, you will experience the worst among them. If you decide to like police, you'll experience the best among them. You can even do terrible things, and if you like police, they won't bother. But that's another story. It's not interesting to me to do bad things. It's not interesting. But that's the nature of reality. Is what you perceive, what you expect becomes your reality. So that was the hammer setting, and that's a Thor's right. All these consonants and vowels have energy. And the S sound is the sound of the sun, of Sowilo. So when I want to energize objects, like jewelry or wands, I have a technique where I, like that. So, everybody got a symbol that they like? You didn't see one yet?
I love this one.
So Wunyo is where we get the word wishes from, and wonderment from, and wonderful from. Put your hand on the head like this. The chant is Wunyo, 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 Wunyo. That's not protective, that's just wonderful. It's just a great symbol and a great sound. This is 30 saz. So you know in our system when we get flags, flag at full mast like this, right? It's a good sign. When a flag is at half mast, what does it mean? Something bad happened? But that's because it's a rune. 30 saz versus Wunyo. That's why I'm talking about it, because it's part of your life that is neglected, you know? You gotta know about it,
So the
really.
second one you drew, the half-mast ones are not as,
They're more protective because they're reacting to something. This is more like, let's keep getting more positive experiences.
It's like a window.
I've been saying the chants for many years, so I know what the sound does, and when you say it, you'll change it and you'll polish it. It'll sound more powerful. Yeah, and you'll change the sound of it every time, you know? Wunyo is like a combination of W and V. Wunyo.
searching for a symbol
Here, check this out now. This might
encompasses. I'm shopping, I'm.
this might add another look. How does that look then? Or did you like it before?
He looks like an antenna on top of the building.
The more you build on it, the more powerful it'll be. So eventually you'll find
Draw
this.
anything on it?
Not anything. No. You know, that reminds me of a sketch. The guy was like, they're coming up with this children's storybook, and he goes, yeah, kind of like, go crazy, you know, just come up with anything, go crazy. And the guy goes, yeah, like no rules, right? And he goes, no, wait. He goes, it wasn't like that, I'm sorry.
You just messed up a joke.
Yeah.
Horrible.
No, he goes, yeah, go crazy, it's like no rules. He goes, yeah, like anything goes. No, not anything goes. I said no rules. I think your spirit's sounded funny, but your mind's...
The reality of it.
Well, you do have to, the power of the runes are that there is order to them, there is meaning. Like you wouldn't draw a certain, this works, and I'll show you what else, there's more that would work on that, but so far, everybody got something they like? Anyone not?
There's this one sign that I like that's on this chart. What is it?
Oh good, yeah, look at the chart too, and we can build a rune from that. That's Yera. See, that's a different way of drawing Yera. Yera is actually this, right here. So this can work for you. That way of drawing Yera, there's different rune systems. There's the oldest one, and then there's the newer ones. That's kind of like not the oldest one, but this is the oldest one. The Elder Futhark
There's
is...
another one that's interesting to me. What is this one?
Oh, Perthro, yeah. Perthro is not a protective rune. Perthro actually makes you face the unknown in the world and grow.
That's amazing.
And grow. But it's challenging though, and it's chaotic because it's unknown. So when you're looking to protect yourself, you don't draw that rune because then it's like, give me more of this weird experience.
Are these considered, symbols of
Yes, you see, that's actually a clog almanac. That's those are not runes, but they're based on Norse like markers for days of the year. You see, this worksheet is from last time, and what you were supposed to do then was February 19th's event was ruled by Tiwaz. You see, Tyr was the god of that time period of February 19th, and then Berkana, which is the Earth goddess, was March 15th's event. And what I wanted you to do is write down the events. But anyway, long story short, that is a clog almanac. It's like a wooden 2x4. It's got 4 sides to it. On each side is inscribed markers for the days of the year. And together that's where we get the good and bad days of the year. Like remember I was telling
Like
Wednesday how that was bad. And every day of the year it's the same. Like December, you know Pearl Harbor, when did that happen?
December 7th?
7th?
Wasn't it
Seven.
December 7th?
Yeah. Every year that's a bad luck day. And I've documented it for almost 10 years. Everything that I talk about I document. But I didn't want to tell everybody first because then it would happen.
And they had a bad day.
And then I wouldn't know if it was me
Or
them projecting it. But I didn't tell anyone about Wednesday, and look what happened.
Oh, Wednesday was a bad day.
So
It was just a bad day.
Yeah.
I want to share that. The noon? It's noon. I don't know. What do you call this one?
That's noon. Yeah, that stands for noon.
So I draw that all the time. on
Do
my
you
own.
Dagas?
Okay, that's what you
Yeah,
call it.
Dagas.
On
Yeah.
my own, as I'm doodling, I draw those 2 triangles all the time.
What does it look like?
This
It's
one right
the
here.
noon.
Mhm.
So,
It's like infinity,
Just
but
one
in a
second.
triangle.
right,
draw infinity.
what, is there a purpose for me to, is that maybe?
Dagas is a very spiritual shamanic symbol.
It's yours. Get the bar.
Birkana, 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 Birkana. It sounds funny, but only in terms of our language. A lot of consonants and vowels sound perfectly normal. That's the way the energy is produced better. You could say Birkana, but that's not. Play with the sounds and they'll make more sense energetically. You gotta see what they do for you energetically. And Sowilo, I'll show you the solar. If you get into solar gazing, that really fits in with the Norse practices too. Sowilo. You see it like right in front of me. The ruins are everywhere. You see this? Sowilo. See how the wood is right in front of you? And then over here, there's another one. You read your life like a tarot deck, like read everything like a reading. Life is constantly speaking. UPS truck, good sign. FedEx truck, bad sign.
Why?
Why? Because everything bad happens with FedEx. I mean, is this on tape?
Yeah.
I don't care. Don't ship with FedEx. Am I right though? Am I right? Has FedEx ever been completely...
It's just very interesting.
It's like they're an insane company first, and then they might deliver things on the side. They're a company of insanity. Sowilo, Sowilo, Sowilo. Sowilo, Sowilo, Sowilo. Sowilo, Sowilo, Sowilo. Su, se, si, sai, so. Os, es, is, as, us. Ansus, 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 Ansus. Highest of high, the highest God, the truest God, the purest God, please hear me. In the name of Odin, Balder, Frey, and Thor, Tyr, and Birkana, and Frigg, please hear me. In the name of Odin, please hear me. Please bless, protect, and energize these people so that they may improve their lives and improve the lives of others, and so that these symbols work magic for them. Good.